Welcome to tonight's presentation of the Pro Basketball Association. If you want pro, you want the PBA.
It's PBA basketball on Triangle Media, presented by 1891. As we welcome you into Maine for tonight's matchup between the Midcoast Sternmen and the DLS Rockets. And the opening tip is up and won by the Rockets, and we're off and rolling. Second time these two are playing one another this year. The Rockets won last month, 107-99 against the Sternmen in New York. Rockets come up empty on their first offensive possession. Here comes Midcoast as they work in the half court to our right. And in a hurry, get it down the floor for the lay-in. Carter Skaggs with the bucket. Skaggs, a former Division I college basketball player in the state of Washington, with the first points of the night. Runner in the lane, doesn't go for De Los Santos. Here's Skaggs back to work, and a drive and a kick, and the pass knocked out of bounds. It's a Northeast Division matchup between these two, playing for the second time this year. And a near steal there for the Rockets. When the Sternmen have the basketball, you have to look out for this man who will be inbounding, Trayvon Butler. Originally from Waterbury, Connecticut, but played his college ball here in the state of Maine at Division III. Husson. He was a two-time player of the year for the conference. As the runner in the lane was no good for a Bunsel. Couldn't get the putback either. Donato keeps it alive, and now his pass is stolen away by the Rockets. On the fast break, DLS will have to pull it out. Spotting up for the three ball is Garcia. And the ricochet's out of bounds, so it's a cold start for DLS on the road tonight. The Rockets scored a season-high 107 points in the first matchup against Midcoast. It was the most points the Sternmen have allowed in a game this year. A different story early on as the Rockets come away with another steal. On the fast break, Garcia works it onto the perimeter of De Los Santos. Now gets Ramirez involved in the corner. And the three-pointer smacks off the side of the backboard into the hands of Butler, one of the stars of the league this year. Three-pointer, and Butler gets his first points of the night. He scored 31 while posting a double-double, 31 points, 10 rebounds in the first matchup last month against the Rockets. And he gets his first basket here tonight. Ramirez able to keep the play alive for the putback from Jose Ramirez. Marvin Ramirez and Jose Ramirez teaming up. Two Ramirez's on the Rockets, two Garcias as well, and two De Los Santos. Three-pointer off the mark this time for Butler, but able to put it back is Monroe. And so the Sternmen with a quick start as they have 7 of the first 9 points. Here's Orbis De Los Santos. Garcia spots up from distance, smacks it off the heel. And the Sternmen are off and running. Donato to the rack, can't get the runner to go. Putback try, this time too strong for Monroe. And now cleared out by the Rockets. Looking for easy points. De Los Santos on the pull-up, can't hit the three. And the struggles continue offensively for the Rockets. Monroe now tries his luck from downtown, and he buries the triple. The Rockets need to take a timeout as the Sternmen open up a 10-2 head start here at home in the opening quarter. You're watching PBA basketball on Triangle Media, presented by 1891.
Whoa! Personal foul.
What the feezy?
You can't use a beard trimmer below the 50-yard line. This is the waterproof lawnmower 4.0 by Manscaped.
What's the difference?
It's got new skin-safe technology to help reduce cuts and nicks. It's powerful, yet gentle, just like me.
Dog, I appreciate you.
Boop.
Hey, watch out. I'm not ticklish.
Get yours at manscaped.com.
Welcome to tonight's presentation of the Pro Basketball Association. If you want pro, you want the PBA.
Out of the timeout, a 10-2 game. Slow start for the Rockets. They try to regroup after the stoppage. Ramirez on the wing. Gets it right back from Robinson. Ramirez with some fancy moves to get towards the rim, and he draws the foul. First free throws of the night coming from Marvin Ramirez, 33-year-old who played at Sullivan Community College. And 33-year-old hits the first. Ramirez, a guard listed at 6'3". Struggled to shoot it last month against the Sternmen as he missed 8 of 10 shots. From the foul line here in the first quarter tonight. And those are some much needed points for DLS. Deep three, good for Skaggs from straight on. The Sternmen with a couple of triples early on. As a team, Midcoast entered shooting just 26% from distance this year. Ramirez. De Los Santos driving and getting the shot rejected out of bounds by Donato. The block with authority on the help defense for Pete Donato, who had a double-double last month against the Rockets, and makes a fine defensive play. Works out in the end for the Rockets as they get the 3 ball off the inbounds play, and they're within 6. Butler from well beyond the arc will airball it out of bounds. Butler was part of the PBA All-Star team a year ago. The Midcoast Sternmen are in their second year of existence along the water of Maine. And Butler has helped the Sternmen jump out to this early first quarter lead. Here he is again. And a pass off the mark. No-look pass to Monroe. And Monroe moved away from the corner towards the wing, and the pass sailed out of bounds. It's a Northeast Division matchup. In fact, we have not seen the Rockets lose just yet, including that victory a month ago against Midcoast. They've been playing good basketball. Pull-up jumper off the mark for Robinson. On the other end, three-pointer hit the glass first from Obunsa. Now with the ball back in his hands, will lob it off towards the baseline. And a foul, I believe, before the shot. We'll wait on the official call. And they will call it on the floor, and it'll be an inbounds play for the Sternmen under their hoop. not much room to work there on the baseline between the padded wall and the baseline. The actual inbounds play, and now looks like a warning will be issued to Jose Ramirez for that very thing. Ramirez getting too close to that line. In the end, the Rockets with a steal on the inbounds. De Los Santos. Runner in the lane doesn't go. Tip no good. And the Sternmen clear it off the backboard and throw it away. Butler thought it was tipped by the Rockets. Looked like he even let the ball go out of bounds. And now the officials will get together to confirm the call. And they're going to change it and say we'll stay with the Sternmen. Rockets remain in their zone defense. Webster on the drive and kick. Now the cross-court pass intercepted. Garcia with the steal, Ramirez with the bucket. And here come the Rockets as they're within 4 about midway through the first quarter. Bunsel over to Butler. Butler gets a couple of screens, now drives down the lane, flips it up and in with the foul. Trayvon Butler at the and one. Butler with 31 points last month in the loss to the Rockets. And he made a living at the charity stripe that night. Attempted 19 foul shots against the Rockets last time. Here he is at the free throw line for the first time tonight. And the free throw's good. He went 13 for 19 at the line last month against the Rockets. He begins with a make tonight. And a lead back to 7 for Midcoast here on their home floor. Turnaround shot doesn't hit the rim for Robinson. Sternmen with a chance to add on. Good job on the glass by Donato to keep it here with the Sternmen. And they'll turn it over as the pass from Webster sails high to the baseline. Garcia powering in the lane. Turnaround. Short out of bounds. Oh, now one official will overrule the other. Say the ball was tipped on the Carlos Garcia pull-up, and so the Rockets will keep it and get to inbound into their hoop. And another air ball. This time off the inbounds play. Here goes Webster. And the three, good for Butler as he hits another. Trayvon Butler, who has multiple 40-point games this season. He's one of the top players in the league. Averages about 30 points a night, and he's already off and rolling here in the first quarter as Ramirez gets the putback for the Rockets to make it an 8-point game. Sternmen with 8 guys in uniform tonight. You'll see plenty of Butler throughout. Gets the ball back and passes on. Sternmen working around the horn against the zone defense. Shot blocked down low. Butler spins and throws up the three with the possession expiring, and he nailed it on a tough shot from Butler beyond the arc as he hits another three-pointer. This time he'll pick up a foul on the defensive end for reaching in. Largest lead of the night for the Sternmen. So they push their lead to double figures, and it's been that kind of quarter, really that kind of year for Trayvon Butler. And when he just throws it up towards the rim, he'll find its way through. Rockets are down 11 with the ball. Turnaround shot wildly off the glass. DLS. And they'll poke the ball out of bounds in the backcourt. Butler fakes the three this time. Slows things down offensively for the Stern. And the pass stolen away. Leads to the lay-in. And the Rockets get it back to single digits. Robinson with the theft and the finish for DLS. Deep pull up for Butler. This time off the heel. Off to the races is Ramirez. The Rockets turn it over on the fast break. Butler on the baseline, gets it knocked out of bounds. They'll say off of Butler. He pleads his case, but it'll be a Sternmen turnover. Not a nice defensive play by the Rockets to keep Butler from scoring this time down. And now an offensive foul. Demarius Webster takes the charge for the Sternmen, and they'll get the ball right back. Robinson unsure what he did, so both times you have offensive players walking back down the floor with palms to the sky as now Webster hits the pull-up. Took the charge on one end and then took charge with the pull-up three on the other as Ramirez with the runner to respond. And both teams starting to warm up offensively now as the lead's at 10 for the Sternmen. Chance for the Rockets once again. Euro step, and the bank shot too strong for Ramirez. Heading towards the final minute of the opening quarter, it's a 10-point lead for Midcoast. Butler on the drive and the kick, three-pointers too strong. And Garcia has the rebound. Nice little up and under move, and the basket goes with the foul for Garcia. Nice footwork from Carlos Garcia. Prompted the foul. He was able to finish with the contact anyways. And a chance for an old-fashioned three-point play. As the free throw's good. So Garcia makes it a 7-point game in the final minute of the opening quarter. Sternmen had led from the very beginning. They've yet to trail today as they get the bucket. Chad Gray finding some space behind the zone defense on the baseline, and he lays it up and in. So Gray with his first basket of the night coming off the bench. The lead back to 9. Pull-up three is rimmed off by Batista. Rebound loose, scooped up, and the putback will fall in for Ramirez. May have got an assist from a teammate who tipped it in while it was still sitting on the cylinder. Open three for Butler. He hits another. And the lead's back to 10. Final seconds of the first quarter to beat the horn. Three-pointers no good for Robinson. And it's a 10-point lead for the Sternmen, a quarter in against the Rockets here in Maine tonight. You're watching PBA basketball on Triangle Media, presented by 1891.
You absolutely sure. Hello.
Start of the second quarter, a 10-point lead for Midcoast. The Rockets begin with the basketball. Shot no good after a strong move from Ramirez, but he couldn't finish it. Now the ball loose in the backcourt, players on the floor. And I think Midcoast will use a timeout. Looks like they got the timeout called in order to keep possession. So just a few seconds into the second quarter, the Sternmen use a timeout to keep the basketball leading by 10. You're watching PBA basketball on Triangle Media, presented by 1891.
Tour be lit. First of all, to even be on tour, you gotta be one of the super duper flies.
People in Atlanta, they love Slutty Vegan, but like outside of Atlanta, it's crazy.
The adrenaline rush that you get from it is amazing.
We do celebrity events, casting calls, video shoots.
When they say it's fresh and ready to go, like it's fresh and ready to go. We do it all ourselves. No machines, no nothing. We literally just got flat tops, grills, and fryers.
Being on the road and being on tour specifically, it's like you're a celebrity.
Been to Boston, Tampa, Alabama a few times, North Carolina.
The fact that we are able to travel together is like a whole different relationship.
I like to call us like we're like Fast and Furious, right? Like it's, you know, we're on the road. We're not in expensive cars or muscle cars, but we're in a big giant yellow truck.
If somebody's got it and they're special and you see it and you want to work somewhere where you can just be yourself, this the place. We make good tip money. You get to meet all types of people and it's fun.
The Sternmen using a timeout in order to keep possession of that loose basketball. They're up by 10 in the opening minute of the second quarter. And would expand the lead. Skaggs with the extra pass into the corner. But Monroe can't hit the three, gets his own rebound. Now the runner in the lane, too strong. Rebound loose, tipped up and corralled by the Rockets. On the fast break, the bank shot good for Ramirez. And Marvin Ramirez with a big first half for the Rockets as they're within 8. Three-pointer too long this time for Monroe, who's been empty from distance so far. Robinson rattles in the runner at the foul. It's an and one. And Chris Robinson will head to the line for a free throw. Now a chance for the Rockets to make it a 5-point game here. A minute into the second quarter. We're down a dozen, just a blink of an eye ago. And now it's a 5-point game as Robinson finishes the free throw. Chris Robinson led all scorers in the first matchup between these two. He had 44 points on 17 of 27 shooting. As the three is tacked on for Midcoast. And the lead's pushed back towards double digits. Robinson with those 44 points last time against the Sternmen. He had 44, the team's 107, so almost half of their output. As Orbis de Los Santos gets the bucket on the turnaround. Robinson also had 12 rebounds in that game last month, so 44 points, 12 rebounds for the double-double. Made more than half of his shots from the floor. And the Rockets were victorious 107-99 down in New York. Second effort for Robinson, no good. Missed both shots on the possession, and the Rockets knocked the ball out of bounds. Six-point game early on in the second quarter. Floater, too strong for Skaggs, but Gray gets the rebound. Now Skaggs, the ball back in his hands. Webster for three. He hits! Demetrius Webster with his second three-pointer. He scored 17 points against the Rockets in the first go-around a month ago. And now his 3 makes it a 9-point game for Midcoast. Garcia taking on a double team, and he traveled. The Rockets turn it over. Brings it up. Catch and shoot for Skaggs. 3 balls off the mark and rebounded by Ramirez. A high arcing shot off the glass, good on the fast break. So it's been a lot of Marvin Ramirez and Chris Robinson tonight for the Rockets so far, as Skaggs gets the basket on the other end for the Sternmen. Back to work goes Ramirez, and he gets the foul call. Ramirez will head to the line for the second time tonight. He missed 8 of 10 shots from the floor last month against the Rockets. He's played a big role, however, so far tonight in the first half. And hits the first free throw. Leading scorer Trayvon Butler trying to get back into the game for Midcoast. Now we get the horn. And so he'll be allowed in and replace Monroe. Second free throw rims in and out, and Butler with the rebound. So the Sternmen get their star back on the floor, still able to keep that lead pretty consistent in his absence. They're up by 8, and they add on another 3 for Webster. Pushes the lead back to double figures as he has a hat trick, 3 threes in the first half. Robinson, turnaround, air ball. Put back try, good. Jose Ramirez, Johnny on the spot for the putback. It's back to 9. Nice feed to the baseline for Donato. He couldn't finish it. It goes out of bounds. I believe off of the Rockets. Work it around the horn. 3-pointer is halfway down, but it popped out. And it's rebounded by the Sternmen. Second try, good for Skaggs. And a big offensive board for Midcoast. Leads to the 3-pointer and gives them a 12-point lead once again. Batista's left hand too strong. Put back, though, for Robinson goes. 10-point game, just about midway through the second quarter. Playing 12-minute quarters here tonight between these two in this Northeast Division matchup. Three-pointer, too long for Butler. And De Los Santos with the rebound. Ramirez whips it down low. Turnaround for Robinson, off the glass too strong. Cleared out by the Sternmen. Driving a kick from Skaggs, sets up Butler, but he can't bury the triple. Rebounded by Skaggs to Butler, and this time he gets the floater to fall. A leak out for De Los Santos down the other end, and he gets the easy lay-in. Some might call that cherry picking in the schoolyard. It's a 10-point game midway through the second quarter. Webster gets the pocket picked. The loose ball saved to Butler. Butler gets hacked from behind on the shot attempt. He takes exception to the foul committed by Batista, who came swinging in from behind. Javon Butler will get a pair of free throws out of it. Let's see, I think they're going to check on Butler first as he got whacked in the eye. So before the free throws, we'll have a timeout on the floor. It's a 10-point game midway through the second quarter. You're watching PBA basketball on Triangle Media, presented by 1891. They're at the line after the timeout and misses the first. Second trip to the line for Butler tonight. And he gets the second to go. 19 free throw attempts for Butler last month against these Rockets. In fact, Sternmen attempted 47 foul shots against the Rockets last month and still found a way to lose by 8. The three for De Los Santos too strong, but the rebound stays for the Rockets, and they missed both threes on the possession. Ramirez couldn't cash in on the second chance, and now here's a pass out of bounds for Butler. He threw it over the head of Monroe. Again, those two not on the same page. Monroe went cutting to the basket, and Butler threw it over his head towards the corner, expecting him to still be there. We saw that back in the first quarter as well. So Sternmen turnover, and De Los Santos can't get the turnaround to go. Ramirez with a nice up and under move. The runner is short and gets his putback to fall. So Ramirez, following his own miss, gets another basket. Good half for Marvin Ramirez and the Rockets. Shot in the lane. Doesn't get towards the rim. But a second chance leads to the Butler three. So it's a 12-point lead once again for the Sternmen. We head towards the final 4 minutes of the first half. A foul called in the lane. Monroe picks up the foul. Off the inbounds play. The Rockets cannot capitalize. Bunsel traveling into the lane and turning it over for Midcoast. Rockets scored a season-high 107 points in the first game against Midcoast this season, but scuffling tonight offensively. They have only 38 points right now. Here's a foul on a three-point try, and that'll certainly help DLS on the scoreboard. Chris Robinson will head to the line. He was 8 for 14 from the stripe last month against the Sternmen as part of that 44-point effort that was discussed earlier. Robinson with a double-double that night while shooting 17 of 27 from the floor. And he hits the first free throw. can try rims in and out. And Robinson makes 2 out of 3. Three-pointer, good. And it's down to a 7-point game. Heading to the final 3 minutes of the first half. The Rockets trying to claw back. Skaggs cannot respond on the other end. Ramirez taking on 3 men and banks it in with the foul. Marvin Ramirez went right into the heart of the defense. And he got it to go at the and 1. And a chance now to make it a 2-possession game. A lot of Ramirez and a lot of Robinson tonight. Marvin Ramirez tacks on the free throw. It's a 4-point game at less than 3 to go till halftime. An 8-0 run for the Rockets. Draw closer as the 3, good for a Bunsel. A huge response for the Sternmen. And they're up by 7. Step back 3 for Ramirez off the back rim. Strong rebound for Jose Ramirez, and he's fouled. You have Marvin Ramirez and Jose Ramirez for the Rockets. Of Carlos Garcia and Ismael Garcia, Orbis de los Santos, and Deudi de los Santos, all on the Rockets team. So it's a family affair for this squad out of New York. As Ramirez makes 1 out of 2 from the stripe. 6-point game with 2:10 to go until halftime. Butler with his back to the basket. Turnaround. And Los Santos, bounce pass is stolen away by Skaggs. Nice pass up ahead, but it's lost out of bounds by Bunsel. And he looks down at his hands afterwards, wondering how they could let him down. Great pass from Skaggs in transition to thread the needle, but the Sternmen turn it over. Robinson to the rack with the finish. It's a 4-point game with 90 seconds left in the second quarter. Butler on the block. Powering into the lane. The little hook shot rims off and into the hands of Ramirez. Up ahead to De Los Santos, who couldn't handle the pass. He lost it out of bounds. So the Rockets had a chance to make it a 1-possession game, but instead turn it over. Now Skaggs has it for the Sternmen. Driving to the rim, couldn't finish at the rack. Skaggs wanted a foul, but didn't get a whistle. And De Los Santos airballs the 3. It goes out of bounds off of the Rockets. Less than a minute to go in a 4-point game here late in the first half. Butler driving a kick. 3-pointer from the corner is off the front of the rim for a Bunsel. De Los Santos lays it in, and it's a 2-point game. It's the closest the Rockets have been in quite some time. They were down by 12 earlier this quarter, now within 2. Final 20 seconds of the first half. Butler pulls it out, 10 seconds to go. Pull up 3, air ball. A chance for the Rockets to tie at the buzzer, and laying it in is Batista. And a great finish to the first half for the Rockets, erases a 12-point deficit and ties up the game at the break. It's 53-53 at the half. So you're watching PBA basketball on Triangle Media, presented by 1891.
When I came home from prison in 2001, I had a tough time finding a job. Have you ever been convicted of a felony? When you get to that part of the application, your heart starts beating fast, your hands become sweaty. It doesn't matter your education or work experience. That's gonna be the determining factor.
What up, man? What up with you?
What's up with you?
Nothing, man.
How you get it, man?
Regular military, got no size.
I would fill out an application and they tell me that they're not hiring, but they got now hiring signs on the window.
Did that make you go back to doing some of the things that you were doing before?
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's kind of like they forced you to.
Set up. Right?
It's like set up. It's systematically set up for you to have to go back. I was 3 years old when the U.S. Marshals came, beat down the door, and got my dad. Maybe like 5 the second time. I just kept asking my mom, like, yo, where's my dad? Where's he at? He would tell my grandmother, I'm not trying to do that no more. I'm trying to get my life right.
What up, boy? What's up with you, boy? Good to see you. Good to see you, man.
Being a barber changed my dad. Being able to have a community that he can turn to when he needed something, that helped him a lot.
That was a hard moment for me last week.
All those ups and downs that you've been through, to look at you now, I'm so proud of you. I'm happy to call you my dad, man.
What you just said right there is what it was all about. Everything that I've done was for that. Now I can retire. So I can retire now. Old man still got it.
Ooh, now that look good, man.
You see, black people have always needed a place to gather since the beginning of time. To build, to reflect, to inspire, to connect. They say if you want to go fast, then go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. See, in continuing to fight for our lives to matter, we must have a place to gather. To write a chapter, enjoy the laughter, think and capture, sharpen our skills until they master. Not only a place to fraternize, but to strategize and analyze and advertise and sometimes just fantasize. See, there's a certain brilliance that only comes from the collective. One for all and all for one is the objective. You get the message. See, we've always needed a place for like minds to collide and unlike minds to gain a better understanding of the other side. You know the vibe. You may want to switch lanes and you need a place to pick brains and network with big names. The level up is insane. The true meaning of for us, by us, with us, grown by us, stories told by us, shown by us, loaned by us, so it's always owned by us. Somebody better write a song about us. We all we got. We all we got. So meet me down at the gathering spot.
Start of the second half. And a chance for the Rockets to try to take their first lead. They cannot do so. Sternmen have never trailed tonight. They opened up with 7 of the first 9 points, and now they get the scoring started in the second half. Trayvon Butler on the three-pointer. Puts the Sternmen back ahead. But a quick response on the other end for Robinson, as these two go tit for tat here midway through this one. Three-pointer, and Skaggs gets in on the fun. A three-point shooting contest to begin the second half. Both teams coming out of the locker rooms hot here in the third quarter. Turnaround shot in the lane with a whistle. And Jose Ramirez will actually be called for the turnover for the Rockets. Sternmen led by as many as a dozen in the second quarter. By the time we went to halftime, we were all tied up. Tough step back for Butler, rims off. Putback try for Donato on the third effort goes. And now it's a 4-point lead for the Sternmen. After they saw their double-digit lead disintegrate there late in the second quarter, Midcoast trying to build a little bit of a cushion once again. The runner is kissed in off the window. A nice basket for Robinson to make it a 2-point game. A collision in the lane and a blocking foul called on the Rockets. Robinson couldn't believe the call. He's charged for the blocking foul as he was attempting to take a charge. So the Sternmen will inbound up by 2. Players and officials all trying to pitch in to wipe up the wet spot underneath the hoop where the players fell down. Inbounds will go up top for Monroe. Skaggs may have gotten away with a travel. And a foul instead as Abunsel went crashing towards the lane. So Abunsel at the line for a pair. It's the first. And he makes them both. Well, it's a 4-point game a few minutes into the second half. Ramirez attacks, sidesteps a defender and hooks it in on the pretty reverse. Nice take by Marvin Ramirez as he gets another bucket. It's a 2-point game. Butler gets it stolen away. De Los Santos in the corner. Batista uses a fake to drive to the rim and tie it up at 63. Nice drive on the baseline as Donato powered it in to put the Sternmen back ahead, 65-63. Rockets have not led all night. They can try to take their first lead on a 3. And instead, Batista goes driving down the lane and draws a foul. Batista will head to the line for 2 free throws. 6'4" guard out of the Bronx, New York. Just finished up his collegiate career. As the first free throw's no good. One of a couple of these Rockets who played Division III basketball at Lehman. Off-balance shot, good for a Bunsel. Nice finish for him from the left side. It's a 4-point lead for the Sternmen. Near steal, and now a turnover nonetheless. They're going to get a double dribble against the Rockets. Marvin Ramirez complaining as he said the ball got poked free by the Sternmen. He should have had a new possession. Instead gets called for the double dribble and the turnover. Skaggs with the pass down low for Gray, but his shot's blocked out of bounds. Ramirez with the block after turning it over. Off the inbounds play, 3-pointer is airballed by Skaggs. Rebound loose in the lane and picked up by the Rockets. Nice pass up ahead for the lay-in from Batista. Ramirez with the assist. It's a 2-point game. Butler passes out, 3-ball. Now a chance for the Rockets to tie. They have numbers in transition, and they get the layup from Carlos Garcia to tie it up at 67. A timeout on the floor. We're all tied at 67 with 7.5 to go in the third quarter. You're watching PBA basketball on Triangle Media, presented by 1891.
What happens when everything we know about something changes?
I tell people all the time, this is the best American story you never heard.
We're out hitting the pavement, talking to restaurants, talking to bars.
I don't think of myself as a whiskey salesperson. I want you to know his name.
Drink by drink, we're bringing this story to light.
When we have to step back through the pages of history.
It's so much more than whiskey. It's so much more than a brand. It's a movement.
When we have to make amends and pay respect.
We're honoring the greatest whiskey maker the world never knew, and it's beautiful.
And give credit where credit is due.
Uncle Nearest is the godfather of Tennessee whiskey, and the world needs to know it.
What happens? We do it. Uncle Nearest, it's more than whiskey.
Nice behind the back. Get it to Miller. He shoots a three. She's right at the rim of the three-point line.
All tied at 67 here out of the timeout. 7:20 to go, third quarter. And the bounce pass from Butler finds a foot. So the Sternmen will inbound in their half court. Back to Butler. Turn around in the lane, draws the foul. Butler gets the second one to go to put the Sternmen back ahead. They lead by one. Step back jumper from the right side. Good for Carlos Garcia. And that gives the Rockets their first lead of the night, 69-68, with 6:50 to go in the third quarter. They have led by as many as, I should say the Rockets have trailed by as many as 12. Now lead for the first time as Webster with the second shot of the possession. Can't get it to bound in. Webster gets it back. Swings it over to Butler. And his three is banged through. The lead was short-lived for the Rockets. Butler puts the Sternmen back ahead on another three. The runner too strong for Ramirez. Monroe trying to clear it out for Midcoast. 2-point game midway through the third. Webster bumped on his way towards the basket. And they're going to call a travel against the Sternmen and a turnover. Garcia dumps it to the baseline, and we're tied at 71. Batista tying it up once again as Butler responds once more, hits the three, and strikes a pose, putting the Sternmen back ahead. And every time the Rockets are able to tie up the game or take the lead, Butler's the one that has the immediate response from Midcoast on the very next possession. Batista on the deep two, no good. They'll go over to the Sternmen. Chance to add on. Butler hits another. Back-to-back threes for Trayvon Butler, who's been on fire from distance tonight. And after the Rockets were able to jump in front for the first time, the Sternmen have now pushed their lead to 6 on the back of Butler. Ramirez can't respond. Here's Butler again. And he gets the ball knocked out of bounds. Butler from well beyond the arc. This time comes up short. And Batista can't finish the layup on the fast break. Shot blocked on the drive. Donato got his shot blocked out of bounds, so the Sternmen will have to inbound. Three-pointer is good for Webster. And in the blink of an eye, the Sternmen have pushed their lead back to 9. Webster's been fantastic from long range tonight. He had 17 last month against the Rockets. I imagine he's somewhere around that number again tonight. Rockets now, they've had to play catch up for most of the night. They find themselves down by 9 once again, after they enjoyed a lead for the first time. And they get a little bit closer on the three-pointer to make it a 6-point game. Webster loses control and turns it over for the Sternmen. On the pull-up from the elbow, rims off. And it's going to stay here at the Rockets. Ramirez attacks, spins, steps back, but can't connect. And a foul on the putback try. Free throws for DLS upcoming. Jose Ramirez at the line. He was scoreless in the first matchup against Midcoast this season, as he gets the free throw to drop here. The Rockets scored a season high 107 points, so not many guys were scoreless for them that night. Sternmen turn it over, and the fast break is halted. The Rockets will have to inbound. They trail by 5 late in the third. Three-pointer too strong for Ramirez, and it skips out of bounds. Shot clock winding down. Butler lost the basketball as he was rising up for the three, and it leads to the Ramirez lay-in on the other end to turn it back into a one-possession game. 80-77 with 2:22 to go in the third, and now a turnover for the Sternmen. Donato dribbled off his foot out of bounds, and the Rockets can tie it up once again if they get a three on the possession. Ramirez. Players on the floor diving after the loose ball, and a travel called against DLS. Final 2 minutes of the third. The Sternmen are up by 3 with the basketball. Step back, put the threes in and out. Sides couldn't hit after the pretty move, and the Rockets end up losing the rebound out of bounds to give it right back to the Sternmen. Runner in the lane, air ball by Webster. Maybe it was a pass. Not sure if that's how he drew it up, but it wound up right in the hands of Gray for the lay-in, giving Midcoast the 5-point edge. Webster will tell you that was an assist, and he meant to pass it off like that. Wild reverse layup from Batista. Eventually goes out of bounds to the Rockets. He just threw it up towards the rim, and now Midcoast with the ball up by 5. Butler on the attack, and he's fouled on his way towards the basket. Makes it a 6-point game with that second free throw. 66 seconds left in the third. Ramirez goes inside, and the shot was blocked from behind by Donato. Foul on the rebound against Robinson of the Rockets. Webster amongst the trees gets it ripped away for the turnover. Robinson flips it up with the foul, and one. Robinson at the line, and he finishes off the 3-point play. Three-pointer blocked by Robinson now on the defensive end. De Los Santos in transition, fouled on his running try. And he'll head to the stripe with less than 20 seconds remaining in the third. De Los Santos at the line and hits the first. He had 9 points last month against the Sternmen. Played at Monroe College in the Bronx, which has actually served as the home gym for these Rockets. De Los Santos misses the second, rebounded and put up and in by Ramirez. A big basket there to tie up the game with 15 seconds left in the third quarter. 3-point possession for the Rockets to tie it up. And Webster with the double dribble picked up the basketball and then tried to bounce it again. He turns it over. And the Rockets will have a chance to take a lead to the fourth quarter on a last-second basket here. De Los Santos to beat the horn. And it goes! We were tied at the half, and now the Rockets will head to the fourth quarter with a 2-point lead on the buzzer beater from Orbis De Los Santos. A 2-point game after 3 quarters of play. You're watching PBA basketball on Triangle Media, presented by 1891. At the start of the fourth quarter, the Rockets have just their second lead of the night. They're up by 2 after the running buzzer beater from De Los Santos to finish the third. And now Carter Skaggs throws it away on the opening possession for Midcoast here in the fourth quarter. The Rockets with the basketball up by 2. Rare position for them tonight. And the high arcing floater, good for Batista, giving the Rockets their largest edge of the night, up by 4 for the first time. Donato wiggles to the basket and banks it in. Rockets have not attempted a ton of threes tonight. They're not a great outside shooting team. As the runner is banked in for Ramirez despite some contact in the lane. Last month, the Rockets were just 2 out of 13 from distance against these Sternmen. And despite only making 2 threes, they still were able to score over 100 points as they shot better than 53% from the floor inside the arc in that win last month. Timeout on the floor, just over a minute into the fourth quarter. The Rockets leading by 4. You're watching PBA basketball on Triangle Media, presented by 1891.
Whoa! Personal foul.
What the feezy?
You can't use a beard trimmer below the 50-yard line. This is the waterproof lawnmower 4.0 by Manscaped.
What's the difference?
It's got new skin-safe technology to help reduce cuts and nicks. It's powerful, yet gentle, just like me.
Dog, I appreciate you. Boop. Hey, watch out. I'm not ticklish. Get yours at manscaped.com.
Midcoast with the basketball out of the timeout, down by 4. Strong drive to the rim for Skaggs, gets the lay-in. Back to a 2-point game. And a foul called on the Garcia drive. Skaggs off the screen. Bounces inside, turnaround shot in the lane, well off the mark for a Bunsen. Ramirez slows things down for the Rockets. To De Los Santos. Back to Ramirez. Step back is air ball. De Los Santos thought he had the rebound. Well, they're going to get a shot clock violation anyway, so that ball was headed to the out-of-bounds area. The Rockets turn it over on an empty possession. They lead by 4, opening minutes of the fourth. And a turnover on the Sternmen as Butler lost it out of bounds on the far side. Batista's three is off the heel. Sternmen with the ball down by 4. Here comes Butler. Nice pass to the baseline, but Monroe was caught underneath the hoop. Second effort, rattles in. Nice job by Monroe to stick with it after he was caught in an awkward spot on that first shot attempt. Makes it a 2-point game. Now a stop here for the Sternmen and a chance to tie. Pull up from the left side, good for Butler. And he ties up the game at 91. Butler always seems to have that response for the Sternmen. Ties up the game at 91 with a timeout on the floor. You're watching PBA basketball on Triangle Media, presented by 1891. Out of the timeout, all tied at 91. De Los Santos gives it off to Batista. Having a kick from Ramirez. And De Los Santos drains the open three. The Rockets are back ahead, up 94-91 with less than 8 to play. Butler on the step back, rims in and out. And fouled on the second effort was a Bunsel. So Bunsel makes it a 1-point game with the second free throw. Sternmen in his own defense, trailing by a point. Floater in the lane, rims out for Ramirez. And now the Sternmen have the chance to take a lead. Donato up top. Step back for Butler. He hits another three. Butler had 31 last month against the Rockets. And he's creeping towards that area again as he puts the Sternmen in front 96-94. Garcia draws the foul on the baseline. Chad Gray gets called for the block. Robinson will check back in for the Rockets, one of their top scorers on this season. Back and forth we've gone here in the second half. And now the Rockets will turn it over on the inbounds pass carelessly. The backcourt violation on Batista. Batista came darting in as the pass was thrown in his direction. And he deflected it into the backcourt for a costly miscue by the Rockets. A self-inflicted turnover. Catch and shoot for Skaggs. 3 balls off the mark. Gray saves it, and it winds up with the Rockets. De Los Santos with a little fake, can't finish the layup. Robinson couldn't put it back either. Skaggs kicks it out. And Webster will reset in a 2-point game. Donato gets to the rim but couldn't finish from the left side. Rebound scooped up by the Rockets. Basket no good for Ramirez. Shot it over the rim. Butler. And the three, good from the corner. It's another triple for Demetrius Webster. And the Sternmen are up by 5. A big three from the guard. Oh, but the three-pointer gets right back for the Rockets. Robinson with a nice response makes it a 2-point game again. Turnaround shot kissed in by Donato on a nice move in the post. And that puts the Sternmen into triple digits. Highest scoring game this year for Midcoast, as that three-pointer is well off the mark by Robinson. He's calling for either a foul or the fact that it was blocked. You would imagine something must have happened in order for Chris Robinson to essentially shoot that one behind the backboard. Three-pointer no good for Skaggs this time. Gray can't finish the putback, but he does get the third shot of the possession to rim in. It's a 6-point lead for the Sternmen, 4.5 to go. De Los Santos dribbles to the foul line and passes off to Ramirez. Ramirez can't finish at the rim. Webster picks up the loose ball and then gets wiped out there beyond the arc for the foul against the Rockets. Good ball movement from the Sternmen, and it leads to a foul as Webster got knocked to the floor. He'll head to the stripe and a chance to really create some distance here late in this one. The Sternmen already lead by 6, 4:09 to go, and a chance to push their lead to as far as 8 right now. Does exactly that, an 8-point game. Final 4 minutes of regulation. And a steal now with Butler intercepting the pass in the baseline. Step back three for Butler, short. Shot that one from the parking lot. And here's Webster sneaking up from behind for the theft. Skaggs can't hit the three, but another opportunity for the Sternmen. Webster resets, now attacks, and he's fouled. Demetrius Webster has had quite the night, and he'll head to the line with a chance to push the lead for the Sternmen back to double figures. But he misses the first. Webster makes the second, and it's a 9-point lead. 3:18 to go. foul and a running shot from the baseline. That will send Batista to the line. Santos gets it stolen away from behind by Butler. And Butler's going to pull it out. An 8-point lead for the Sternmen with less than 3 to go. Webster thought about it, ended up taking it, can't hit, and rebounded by the Rockets. Webster was so wide open, he figured he might as well take the 3 after hesitating. De Los Santos lets it fly. And a foul on the board as Chad Gray got knocked to the floor by Batista. The Sternmen will have it up by 8 already. Butler on the step back. Short this time. And Webster with the rebound. Smallest man on the floor, but Webster has had some big rebounds tonight. And Donato stepped out of bounds on the baseline. Or travel. Either way, a turnover for the Sternmen. With less than 2 to play, the Rockets get it back down by 8. Rockets have trailed by as many as 12 tonight. They have led by as much as 4. Batista flips it up and in with the foul. A huge and 1 opportunity for the Rockets. Trailing late in this one. It's a 5-point game with 1:45 to go. Skaggs gets past his man, drives in the lane, and an offensive foul call. The charge drawn by Marvin Ramirez. And the Rockets get a much-needed defensive stop. Turnover for the Rockets and a costly one. Marvin Ramirez to Jose Ramirez in close corridors, and he lost it out of bounds in the baseline. Less than a minute to go. The Sternmen with the ball up by 5. And a foul just when the Rockets thought they had a steal. Instead, Batista gets called for reaching in. He was trying to wrap around Trayvon Butler to knock away the bounce pass, and instead gets called for the foul. This will put the Sternmen in the bonus and send Butler to the free throw line. Sternmen are up by 5 with 52 seconds left, and Butler will step to the stripe. Butler makes 1 out of 2. It's a 6-point game. 50 seconds left. And a timeout taken by the Rockets. They trail by 6 late in this one. You're watching PBA basketball on Triangle Media, presented by 1891. So Webster will step to the free throw line and misses the only try off the back rim. 6-point game, just about 30 seconds to go. Floater in the lane, too strong for Garcia. Put back, goes, and it's a 4-point game. Quick inbounds to Webster, and he'll be fouled with 17 seconds left and a chance for Webster to try to redeem himself at the free throw line. Yeah, Los Santos complaining that more time ran off the clock after the foul. And so the officials will sort out all of the madness here late in this one. They will reset the clock to 22. 22 seconds left. It's a 4-point game, and Webster back at the line for the Sternmen. Webster makes it a 5-point lead. Makes them both. It's a 6-point game. 20 seconds left. De Los Santos hits the 3. Cuts the deficit in half, and now a turnover on the Sternmen as it goes out of bounds off of Webster on the inbounds play. What a huge error for Midcoast. And the Rockets should have the ball with a chance to potentially tie late in this one. They'll take a timeout. 14 seconds remain in a 3-point game. You're watching PBA basketball on Triangle Media, presented by 1891. Out of the timeout, the Rockets inbounding, trailing by 3. Garcia on the kick out. 3-pointer off the glass. Garcia there for the putback. About 5 seconds to go and a quick foul that will send the Sternmen to the line. So it's a 1-point game. With 6 seconds left and free throws forthcoming for Chad Gray of the Sternmen. Well, matter what happens here, even if Gray makes both foul shots, the Rockets will still have a chance to tie on their final possession. And the first one is short for Gray. A big miss there for the Sternmen. It's a 1-point game, 7 seconds left, and the free throw rattles in. The Rockets are down 2, final 5 seconds. Here's Ramirez, over to Batista, and he hits the 3. Hits the 3 as the clock seemed to have expired. The officials need to sort it out. The Sternmen are trying to take a timeout. What a huge three-pointer for Batista from the right side that appears to have put the Rockets ahead. And now, wait a minute. The Rockets bench flipping out. We may have had a technical late in this one as well. Chaos has ensued here in Maine in the final moments of this matchup between the Rockets and the Sternmen. And we'll get it all sorted out as it appeared the Rockets may have hit that buzzer-beating 3 from Batista. Rockets are down by 2 to start the possession. Ramirez passed it ahead to the right side for Batista on the wing, who looked like he had hit the game-winning 3. And the officials sorting out the closing moments of regulation here. Unbelievable. There's 1 second left in a 1-point game, and Webster heads to the free throw line. And a clutch foul shot there for Webster as he ties up the game. A technical was issued. I'm not sure why, but what a huge call to allow the Sternmen a chance to tie it up like that with 1 second left after the clutch 3 from Batista. 1 second left in regulation and a timeout. You're watching PBA basketball on Triangle Media, presented by 1891. One second left. We're all tied at 1-11. A chance for the Sternmen to try to now win it at the buzzer. And the inbounds pass is knocked out of bounds. Good defense there from Carlos Garcia. Carter Skaggs will try to get it in once again. Will take off 0.2 of a second because of the deflection. 0.9 remaining. And again, Garcia smacks the inbounds attempt right back out of bounds. Now we're down to .7 here in regulation, all tied at 111. Webster at the horn. Can't hit. And we're heading to overtime, all tied at 111 between the Rockets and the Sternmen. You're watching PBA basketball on Triangle Media, presented by 1891. It's the start of the overtime period, all tied at 111. The Rockets begin with the basketball, and De Los Santos misses the three on the opening possession. What a wacky finish to regulation, where it looked like the Rockets had the game won. Batista hit a three-pointer with 1 second left to go up top by a point. And a technical foul was issued. Webster hit the free throw for the Sternmen, and here we are in OT. The Sternmen strike first in overtime, and now get a stop on the defensive end. Webster dribbles off a foot into the backcourt. Butler will pick up the loose basketball. Butler and Webster have been the two leading scorers for the Sternmen tonight as Butler gets it stolen away. Garcia can't finish at the rack. And Butler with the rebound. Now here's Webster. Webster didn't even start tonight, came in off the bench and has hardly returned to the bench throughout this one. He's been so good. Garcia rebounds the missed three. And a foul, an offensive foul called against Marvin Ramirez on the drive. The Rockets started the game off very slow offensively. And so far here in overtime, they've begun a little slow as well, trailing by a basket. Sternmen, first points of OT. Butler on the fadeaway, airballed it. Batista almost from the same spot that he hit that three at the end of regulation. This time, it was far too strong. And the Rockets are still scoreless here in the extra period. And Butler with the strong take. Players down on the floor on opposite ends of the possession. But Butler with the basket gives the Sternmen a 4-point lead here in OT. The Rockets still trying to get on the scoreboard here in overtime. They're down by 4. De Los Santos can't hit the pull-up three. But Batista there for the putback. Webster with a nice move to get past this man, but couldn't connect on the floater. Rockets with a chance to tie. Garcia hopping in the lane, the fadeaway. And Butler rebounds. Final 2 minutes of overtime. The Sternmen are up by 2 with the basketball. Butler, nice use of the pump fake, and he draws the whistle. Carlos Garcia with the foul, and Trayvon Butler will head to the line. It's a 3-point game with 100 seconds left in overtime. And Garcia will throw it away as the Rockets turn it over. That's a huge turnover as the Sternmen now have a chance to make it a 2-possession game in the final 90 seconds. The Rockets erased a 12-point deficit in regulation. They trailed by 8 with 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter and forced OT. And now trailing in overtime as Butler draws another foul from Garcia on the layup try. And Trayvon Butler will head right back to the line. He had 19 foul shot attempts last month against the Rockets. He's been there quite a bit once again tonight against DLS. And it looks like that may have been the final foul for Carlos Garcia. At least that's what the scores table seems to be indicating. And Butler misses another foul shot, much to the chagrin of his head coach. Now trying to sort out the number of fouls for Carlos Garcia. And there's a debate going on between how many fouls Carlos Garcia has and the best practices as well of those in charge of the scorebooks here for this matchup tonight. A lot of drama late in this one. And now a technical issued against the Rockets once again. The visiting Rockets not happy with the scores table. As meanwhile, Butler sinks the free throw. Been a chaotic last few moments here in the gym. Wrapping up this one. So Butler hit the technical foul shot, now finishes up his normal foul shots here. It's a 4-point game with the Sternmen in front. And Butler rims out. Minute 15 to go. The Rockets are down 4. And an offensive foul called. Wave off the bucket. A huge charge drawn by Chuck Obunsel. And instead of making a 2-point game, instead the Rockets turn it back to the Sternmen, who are already up by 4. A big charge drawn on the baseline by Obunsel there. Final minute of overtime. The Sternmen lead by 4 with the basketball. Webster to Skaggs, the 3-pointer. No good. Put back also off the mark for Obunsel. Euro step in the lane, and drawing the foul is Marvin Ramirez. The Rockets are down 4, 35 seconds left, and Ramirez will head to the line. And Ramirez gets the first one to fall in after his bounding on that cylinder. And they're both good. Two-point game, final 30 seconds of overtime. Webster. A whip around pass to Butler. Here comes a double team. And a timeout needs to be taken by the Sternmen to avoid a potential turnover with Butler caught in the corner. 16 seconds left in overtime. It's a 2-point lead for the Sternmen with a timeout on the floor. You're watching PBA basketball on Triangle Media, presented by 1891. Out of the timeout, 16 seconds left. The Sternmen are up 2. They get it into Webster. The pull-up from the foul line is good, and that could be the dagger. A 4-point game, 10 seconds left in OT. Batista can't get the runner to fall. Put back good for Garcia. And the Sternmen will inbound to Butler. He's fouled as the horn sounds. It's a 2-point game. Let's see if the officials put more time on the clock. Butler will head to the line. We'll see how much time they restore to the clock here in overtime. It's a 2-point game. And Butler can try to put the finishing touches on a Sternmen victory. They lost last month to these DLS Rockets 107-99 over in New York. And now trying to avenge that loss here in Maine at home tonight in overtime. Less than a second remaining in OT. Butler at the line. And he makes it a 3-point game. If Butler hits the next one, it'll wrap up the victory for the Sternmen. More confusion here on the floor, winding down overtime. Butler trying to seal the victory. And he does. Less than a second to go in overtime. It's a 4-point lead. And the Rockets will take a timeout. You're watching PBA basketball on Triangle Media, presented by 1891. Not much the Rockets can do here. Down by 4 with a second left in overtime. De Los Santos doesn't get the 3 to go. And the Sternmen win it in overtime tonight, 121-117. The Rockets get their first loss of the year as the Sternmen returns the favor after losing by 8 last month against DLS. The Rockets thought they had this one won with a 3-pointer from Batista at the end of regulation, but a technical led to a tying foul shot from Demetrius Webster, sent us to overtime and an OT. The Sternmen are victorious, 121-117. You've been watching PBA basketball on Triangle Media, presented by 1891.